litmus test or who the stronger squad is this time around. I'm expecting a close series. I'm expecting all three. We can see here on this pistol round, the attack side of KC is under a bit of threat. They tried to take control on B. Maybe the idea to go back later on and
wanted to. We've seen him be ever so deadly in these positions before, but for now, they are going to clear that spot. They know where he is, and the rotation's coming in for the rest of the team.
That wall's going to go down at some point. There it is. There's a player behind him. It should be an easy kill. CNED's turn though, and he's caught Magnum. Now Raid's caught in the open, attempting to make that pinch happen, and now the spike is down. It's another disaster for the attack. They tried to make something work, they thought.
So, this congestion could be interesting. CNED, well positioned. A chance to do some real damage, but, you know, he's got support.
Yeah, the backup is there, and mighty backup it is. Even a snake bite to close out the round.
Big retake with weaker weapons.
Some advantages maybe if they can force those close range fights. But it looks like they're out in the open. Mr. Fallen's good for the first, but their numbers are quickly thinning out. Mr. Fallen shot in the back with no chance, and CNED, he dropped out of heaven. Paranoia down, but flashes from Magnum still exist. Dizzy up top, there's a deep flash from Magnum, keeping these players trapped in, allowing individual fights to be taken. The KC are winning again and again. Yedege and Mr. Fallen, the last ones to try and fight their way back through. You can see Yedege still on the other side of the map. That was a quick take from KC. You can see why they didn't take the op there. They need their guns for charging down that site, and it's worked out very well. An almost unlosable post plan. Mr. Fallen does well to find the first. The snake bite a little deep. Oh no, it's not a little deep. In fact, Martin was hit by it, so he's easier taken down. But a 1v2, that Shin eventually closes out.
It's also going to be that little bit more difficult to deal with.
They're ready. They're waiting for this push to come through. A wise play by the side of KC, and the reward is there. Paranoia, though, that's going to make it awkward. Tamazi's so low, and there was nowhere to go. Pushed from every side. That's making great use of a low buy from the side of FUT. They've claimed a weapon, and CNED's claimed a kill. That plant might be undeniable, but if CNED can survive, oh, they'd have the numbers. Still, Thrash ready to go for Mr. Fallen. And he's legging it.
And the Raid.
He's on his way around to long, presumably to use that to break his way through. The time is still good to make this work.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can see Narrate has fallen back to a position where he can use his as well. Both teams are basically having the potential idea and already stopping it from getting any real value. Now becomes the opposing side, as we are going to see the TP. Nice idea from out of Captain, but not quite dealt with quick enough. The defuse is already happening. Halfway through, the spam is going to at least drop it, but for now, Mr. Fallen needs this kill, and he needs it immediately. He does manage to get it. I don't know if there's going to be enough time. I think he's just about got it over the line.
Chopping up the site in a very different way.
Spike planted.
But FUT have positions all across the map. They're scattered, and the surprise factor could catch them a couple of kills. Although they've lost Mr. Fallen, lost their way back through, out of Captain, isolated and dealt with, and now it's impossible. As soon as Yedege falls, we realize Cracks 1v4 surrounded.
At 0 at this point because of where the player actually died. Cracks on the other side of the map. Again though, trying to aggress off of it has given a fight to CNED. Ada Captain slowly encroaching. At this point it's been so long that they kind of have to expect that he'll be here. Shin already watching, Magnum there alongside Narrate to clean things up, and it's not the prettiest of shots from Mr. Fallen. Actually, combined with a Mosh, it's allowed at least for an extra rotation to come in.
Kill on Yedege, the numbers thinning. Good fights for FUT, as they now have to concede the site though. With the TP coming through, this player's in spawn to try to just hold the push, hold the angle, so KC don't get any extra space. They end up losing their life to it. Crack still with 2 flashes, could try to play into the pit, but they're separated. It's one thing fighting through a pit, fighting through it from 2 different angles. It's only going to be even more difficult. You can see Cracks will try to get an angle, but his teammate's already fallen to a shorty, and now his HP ever lower. It was only a matter of time. As the terrifying up against Team Liquid on Icebox. Well, the whole series, Icebox is the most memorable one. Let's see if we can add Bind to the tally. Shin doing his best to make sure that doesn't happen. Already cleared out the real danger of that close range angle, and they're going. They're still going to fight up close. That almost came with a hefty cost, but Cracks gets nothing. CNED and out of Captain.
Thrash isn't done with you.
Oh, wow. They're not having an easy time. Thrash already caught one. Clean kill. How much can CNED make this? Oh, that's a beautiful double. Still, I would say it's on the verge of unwinnable, unless they give him the fight of his life up top. We just pick the weapon and get out of here. But he wants to drop those. He wants to try for it. The wall up. The fuse won't even get half. And they know now he's not on it. On time alone, it seems like they've won. And indeed, it's locked in. Weapon retrieved, but no way out.
No, it's a game with Sublime and his Viper.
He's crazy.
Still looks to be on point. Shin trying to reaggress. The pop flash is good, but even still, Cracks finally has awoken. A third already in the round for him, a pop flash. He's looking for more. 8 HP, and he's still pushing forward. Has the support of Cena and one narrate. The reason that FUT lost that long fought battle on Lotus was because this man had 40 kills. So I don't think FUT are going to take him lightly.
Oh, we've got a lot of respect for Cena. He's earned it. I think Narrate has too. Tier 2 duelist to top of the world almost in stats. This guy's unbelievable. But this 1v4, well, he's got time on the clock, but just look at the positions of FUT. As soon as contact is taken, all eyes will be on Narrate. I hope he's got a high sense to catch this 364K. And the captain, sorry, the knife will cancel out, the ult will cancel it out, but luckily they've gone the right way, so the rocket's online and it's caught out of captain.
Ah, that's a good start. That will not only potentially get him an upgrade in terms of weaponry, but it's also taken so much space. The shot off gives up where Tom is standing. Mr. Farland still holding strong, but will fall. Cleared out by KC. And while now you have seen that no command put into play, but there's not a lot left, really, that KC could have utilized.
Just look at these angles, man. Martin's got a stinger, but what we don't see is what's in his hand. A shorty holding the close angle means his teammates inside Lambs don't have too much to worry about despite their low HP. Good shot as Yadajay falls, and denial of the defuse with a gap in the wall used to push around. And then
They do have a little bit of extra utility, though.
Something to help them get those plants. KC want to get aggressive towards Lambs, fighting on the corner. 2 players already and stacked up. Good shots connected by Martin, and then Narrate swings. Sees nobody. They've already claimed the space, denied the push, and left foot.
What is the completely stacked up site? 4 players waiting.
Left.
Contact held for Martin, and somehow Crack's actually done all right there. That looked like a moment where they might get slaughtered, but they brought it back into a potential scenario, although there's a lot of utility still available. The defenders putting into position so many spots now that the spike can't be planted in. Only 14 seconds left. The spams might not kill him off. He'll be able to survive at least a second longer, but it is left all onto Cracks. He doesn't even realize where they're coming from. Tomazi there to close out the round, and KC are going to extend their lead a little bit. The best in the division is playing off those retakes. Double flash straight through. Cena just, you know what, I'm having none of it. And actually Cracks has hit one with that Sheriff. Oh, maybe we spoke a little bit too soon. He's really looking to try and take this one into his own hands, but Shin has been able to trade him out. No weaponry to be retrieved, but also a lot of the angles still made awkward, still made possible for Cena to try and hold them back. And a captain up close with a classic, always devastating. Mr. Farland's found another. This is starting to really fall apart, and the main issue now, Mitch, is that time, is that clock, as it all looks to fall apart again. It is the magic of this bait again, so bait them into the fights, and only now that they have the full force of their squad are they going to try and get into position. The nade dropped, but Anna Captain's done well. Even still, though, trade is immediate.
That trade's keeping the favor for KC, and they know CNET could be around this angle, dealing with him. Different, but he's got his ice wall out, at least. It will be put into play, and they'll have to break it, buying a little bit of extra time. Mr. Fallen, though, dividing his attention, and Tomazi takes advantage of it. Damage, not a kill. Still 2 players alive. And with the spike being tapped as we speak, the spray's going to come through. A kill would give Thrash, at least if the kill was for Mr. Fallen. And he might not need it. Never mind! What? 6 HP left on Magnum. And that's it. FUT have been taking Lamps a lot. That's what this wall is for. Cracks, unfortunately, a little bit of a recon beam going up in the sky as they eventually take control. They meet Shin, and the spams through the smoke. Well, they've caught Cracks again. That's 2 in a row. He won't be res this time, as he's dropped for good. Fight back from Mr. Fallen gets 1. Thrash is online, no safe space to use it, but they're out. At least 1 is 2 safe, and the other still out on bat. Looks like FUT will be comfortably enough able to get this plant through. Thrash online, res. Yeah.
Planted.
I mean, good luck to you if you manage that res. Maybe you could sneak up late go through the TP, but that's just not how you want to play this round.
I was wondering if CNED would hang around a little bit, wait for that rotation. Thrash is basically just being used as a deterrent, allowing him to get back into position, and then it's going to be held for the late round. I don't mind the idea, the push! It is bold from APAC. Trying to get into a position to catch them off guard, but they are moving as a unit, as always with the KC boys. They move as four, they kill up enough that it looks like they're building up around that A site. They were back towards mid, they were holding, so they gambled on the KC side, and FUT, they basically gambled that they would do that. A smart way to play with those rotations. APAC, this fight could be everything. It's definitely a little bit more awkward. He dodges the flash, and the shots eventually connect. I feel like Magnum probably could have had him once or twice there. Now though, FUT just starting to dominate, leaving Shin alone.
Well, APAC hit all 5 with paranoia, but not with his ability. Now though, they've realized where he is as he steps into the fight. Narrate, well, he was looking at heaven. He should have been looking at the walkout. 3 kills coming back from KC. It's winnable yet again. They're not letting go of these rounds, but they might be forced to let go of the plant at least. Playing for the post, Shin walled off. No real chance to cause any sneaky plays. And so they'll group up instead. Viper's Pit for Tamazi. Online and enabled. Recon Dart used. Shin just goes ulting in to spot both players, but I think he only saw one. Might not have gotten to turn around in time. The Viper's Pit up. This is going to make it difficult, but CNED around the side. He could look for a spam. The spike's being tapped. He wants to move in to see him. And it all comes down to timing, which is near perfect for CNED. Now they wait out the decay. No, they don't. Yedajay just swings. Fair enough. Perspective, you can tell that snake bite isn't clearing the corner.
Uh-oh.
The dog through. Okay, he's won that with 30 HP left. One more blast, and he was in a lot of trouble. But the heal up is going to bring him back to fighting health, and he'll just avoid taking that fight. All paranoid up. Shin will get nothing. I like this mosh, though. I could force him out of position, make the fight go down, and actually give the timing for Shin to swing around. Will they expect him to be here still? No, they don't. The rotate's going in, and it looks like there's going to be a god-tier late flank from Mr. Fallen.
Yeah, I think it's, again, just patience that actually ends up paying off in this round for FUT. Okay. APAC's going to go down, at least. And Mr. Fallen now on that long-awaited flank. Shin's actually going to go right back. Seems like he had an idea of it. The Sixth Sense talked about doing the Spider-Man in the last round. It seems like he had the Spidey senses, but even still.
Martine, I saw he had an op earlier, but he's given it over to Narrate instead, playing a closer angle, and that's why 2 quick kills, and the 3rd from Shin. KC, they definitely got their hands on the reins now.
Yeah, he's been lights out in this match. So many important openers when it comes to this defensive side especially. 2 versus 4 scenario as they look to try and make their way continuing into this site. Shin still having his paranoia from earlier, just going to slow them down even further. The push coming up behind them as well eventually, so it feels like FUT really need to find themselves the kills here. And if they use the TP, their opponents will be waiting.
30 seconds no, this is going to be commitment. Wall saved, perhaps for the spawn, but they have to fight for it first. Shin's in their way, and he's going nowhere. 3. So he'll give up that control. And the A site under a lot of threat. Mosh might buy some time, but another Thrash to go through. This time, Mr. Fallen falls, and then the shot connected by Narrate. Pulls the Thrash out as the defenders now throw theirs in to try to slow down this attacking side. APAC has, I don't know if he's quite snuck his way in. They're definitely expecting it. In fact, I see Narrate holding it, but now there's no chance. TP was used to claim Spike after the wall down. I mean, okay.
Yeah, CNED went to get it, took damage from it, and then they used the TP. It's just, CNED has taken a ridiculous amount of damage for basically no reason at all. That's very, very badly communicated by the side of FUT. Now they're going to have an even bigger deficit, and as we've said, when it comes to these retakes, this is where the death ball of KC comes alive.
No, it's just been ruthless every time. CNED's now backing up inside of Hookah, be able to provide some support, but actually not the death ball. Split into 2 two-man squads this time for KC, and that could be a mistake. Tamazi able to double up though, and that round is already sealed. CNED solo, tucked in the corner. KC deal with him and find the defuse with plenty of time to spare. 13-11 on map number 1. FUT's pick, KC's victory.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's another showing of KC growing.
Captain. There's just a small tap from a ghost through the smoke. The retake attempt from KC, somewhere they've been fantastic, is actually being disrupted. Yedeje's in the corner, unspotted and able to find so much value, reloading even, and he had a chance with another half second to pop off a few more shots. The rain shut him down in time, but he'd already done so much damage now. FUT have the advantage to play with the numbers there, and you can see it in the gunfights. Too many classics awaiting them as FUT take late round.
They're going to try and just run through all of Tamazi's utility. Yedeje has got to a ridiculous point. Eventually, Magnum is the one to close him out. It is just sheer aggression. W Gaming, maybe they learned something from PaperX, even though PaperX lost.
Pretty dramatically.
And now, well, building into what could be a late rotation back. As I said, Mr. Fallen still doesn't have a gun, so if he goes round towards A main, there would still be Cned's gun to find, but he is currently alone. Krax, though, is going to be able to win a fight. This is still a round that FUT might be able to turn.
Beautiful as well. A glimpse inside Krax's mind. He takes the first fight and just swings back out for more. Never letting it go. That rifle's not retrieved by Mr. Fallen. Instead, he's done just that. Fallen outside of A and giving KC the idea that that's where the play is coming down. They're going to be on the spike, so no post-plant utility, no snake bite to deny. Instead, it has to be the fights for APAC, and he's good at those. The first one, the snake bite, perfect in the swing, but Shin wins it. Clean on the headshot, and he needed that. Only a few bullets. One, in fact, on 42, while vulnerable, would have taken him down. Cracks below. Timing is everything, and oh, he's lost it. They know where he is. They put him in a box and closed the door on it. Great round from Shin on the way down the site. Magnum might be giving away that he's on his own, but Tamazi's now, well, actually dropped. It's split from both sides, had no chance. They're going to play the retake on the defensive side, and they're going to have to deal with that wall as well.
Yeah, very reactive attack side right now from FUT. Playing aggressively A if they're challenged too much, falling straight back into a C-side take. Relying on the openers as well. Yedeje again. This guy just pulls off ridiculous kills, taking over the round on his own once more. A third already. Crossfire set, but he doesn't need any help. And finally, Shin will put him down in the back. You almost wonder where his teammates were there. Like, guys, I've killed everyone. Could you watch my flank, please? But they will now look to close it. Shin. This time we're not switching up him, but it will take back. They're still up against this many players. There's a poison orb waiting for them, and presumably a snake fight. All right, APAC just fights them ahead of it, and screw the utility. Let's just take the duels. Why not? They're winning all of them. Only one player dropped. Cracks on 1 HP, but well, he's healing back up. And now, to fight back through this, they are in a lot of trouble. I mean, that flank is barely going to matter because those players could come out the back of the Viper's pit, and instead, actually got Mr. Fallen spotting Tamazi, slowing down the retake, splitting these players up and making it even easier to deal with them. The decay, running it down. Well, Shin, I don't know if he got the comms on where Mr. Fallen was, but oh, that was a little awkward. Yeah, it has worked out wonderfully for FUT once again.
If you're in an open fight with an Ares and you win it, your opponent's bad, right? That's the only way. I like the idea of fighting around Mound, but, well, Shin wasn't quite there on time to take that fight. Big ult now as the Neural Theft gives away these positions. No surprise element to narrate spot. Makes it so much harder for him to find any value as they realize he's alone and go hunting him down. Nice stuff. FUT 6.
He went, cool boss, and got them the opener. Yeah. And that's Martin. Martin has been wrecked this game, by the way. He has one kill, and it was that kill on Yedeje. That's it.
He was leading those early duels last time, but not this time around. The turrets helped out. Even caught APAC. Cracks will heal just about, and well, you can thank his lucky stars that that turret wasn't online still. They would have dropped him. Up top for the retake, not ideal. In fact, you're going to see Shin swap it out on the way. Instead, the Vandal now in hand to rotate in, but Tamazi's here early. I think earlier than they'll realistically expect. Getting something done will be very difficult in the camp. Now it's spotted them. Now they've got that information to play with. I don't know where Cracks is going. He's going to be late to the party, but they've got the util to potentially delay them. They've got Tamazi, though, picking up Yedeje. Now Mr. Fallen's alone, and this could start to get very scary unless Cracks quickens the pace. Mr. Fallen has to hold strong on the site. It's only a matter of time. There's the peak, but Tamazi falls, and the flank comes through eventually.
They've got to try and get into position. Tomazi needs to get something here, and he will find one, but the trade is immediate, and his teammate's gone as well.
Yeah, Magnum only had a shorty, so that was a real Hail Mary play. And with the res in, the impact is negligible. In fact, it's null and void. And the kills keep going their way. FUT not letting go of this one with Shin and Martine. You know, there is a showstopper online for Martine. I would be perplexed if he was to use it here. And KC have had a lot of ults for a couple rounds, but haven't had the chances to use them. This wasn't the round for it.
I thought he might use it at the beginning, when they went for that explosive sort of like util dump. Like, that seemed like the perfect spot to use a showstopper. But again, it is just the context of the round. But also, I'm gobsmacked at what we're watching right now. Coming in with a little bit more of an obscure composition on this map, at least. And I'll be honest, a lot of they got a lot better on this map, but 8-1, incomprehensible difference. And I think it does fall back to exactly what Uli was saying to me. This team loves to fight, and this map is built for it. But this is a level that goes beyond my comprehension, because KC are good at fighting. Now they have a chance, though. Showstopper already in, and Martine up close. Go. Cracks already found a trade. And a captain there as well. These post plants have been sublime, but this time they managed to get into position. There is still a snakebite available. They need to do something to get in here, and actually they might just be able to stick this one. If they can get in onto the defuse once that snakebite is gone, and a captain has to go through this, and round is over. There's nothing he can do here. KC will get it over the line.
Be here, but with the wall going down, with the lockdown in play, this is forcing FUT back. They might want to utilize this position, but Mr. Fallen dies trying to claim it. Still 3 players from KC here, and the Nightmare, the Nightfall comes in, catching them all. 2 at least, and the first already fallen out of captain. Out of here, 12 seconds left. Reposition from Magnum is perfect. Sublime play from the side of KC, letting nothing slip. And that's one way to close a round for player there. Shin staying close though, in this case drops. It's all on the line. Both players jumping, but Yedajay's a little quicker to find that. And now they can look towards this A site, seeing it's wide open, but seeing even more so that the rotates are coming through. The site's being given up on C. The wall from Magnum gives him an angle. He's using it against them. The battle for CNED though. He completely distracts them as they look for the fight on the players entering site. CNED's there behind, giving them a fright and leaving Narrate all alone. 3 kills. Has less to think about. He does a lot more because he just shoots better than 99% of the players out there. That's not a good one.
Though. And actually, I think that was more.
There were 4 people.
That was Magnum hits the dig. I was about to say a frenzy from there already is looking much better. Just an absolute blitz in towards this A site in the pistol round for the side of KC.
10-4. 10-4 it is.
For God's sake.
I mean, Sue had her fun fact up earlier, and it is 3 out of 3 so far. When FUT lose the pistol, 100% of the time they win the follow-up.
The stat has to end sometime.
It does. It does.
And the pistol round isn't over yet, you know? Still got the Sage Ball.
How about now?
The Ray looking like he might just close this one out. There you go, now it's over.
There's 3 players, and now sort of is a stack on A that they're running into, but up against those weaker weapons. KC have the advantage, extended with cracks falling, and eventually they'll finish off Yedajay, approaching every fight with a sense of caution, and this is why they've ended up back in a 2v2, and Captain's Classic is still alive. What's happening? How is CNED getting 3 in this round? They've no idea where Captain is, and he's cut noise just in time. That Classic has crushed the dreams of teams before, and it may just do it again with Magnum not exactly low, but with 30 seconds left, Tom, he has to plant that spike. He has to give it away.
30 seconds
the turret
left.
will help him at least lock down some control.
I got the spike.
Be anywhere at this stage. Slight upgrade of the rifle. The information will be there. Snake bite in, but Magnum just used it as bait. Back up to fall as well as they look to enter into the site. They had themselves that Nightfall, but already Yedajay is going to put 1 in the dirt, a second as well, even the low HP and blinded up. Yedajay is still putting up numbers. Leaving the remaining 3 just to potentially try and fall back with the door opening. You're going to see still a player around that B site, Mr. Fallen waiting if they try and double back in that direction. And even CNED on C.
Covering all their bases in case it's a fake, and with so little noise being made, eventually someone's going to peek out for a little bit of information. Looks like that will come through on the defensive side, and for the defensive side, timing almost almost caught Cracks off.
Back. It looks like they might just opt to try and set up around CNED's singular rifle. He's still going strong. A second kill already in this round is starting to fall apart a little bit for KC.
Oh, there's definitely some struggles. The low buys of FUT being so deadly throughout their last series and this one. Rifle recovered for CNED. Blade Storm in his back pocket.
I'll find you.
Almost expect him to give that to Cracks. They have 3 rifles now as they set their sights on the site itself. KC very much fragmented. There's an initial duel on Narrate, unable to trade. The slow, it kept them in position. And now all hope lies with Martin. Showstopper in, and it's caught a kill. The ace with the nade, the shorty, in fact, to find it. Hopefully Tamazi can pick them up as they move into position. The rotates out of the A site being watched, and he's turned at the wrong moment. That timing is abysmal. Surely Magnum, though, the second surprise element as they rotate back to the A site. He can get a beautiful flank. Everything comes down to timing for him with the player coming behind. And it's only a matter of time till he turns, but never mind. Yedeje wins the fight anyways and will spam through on the Narrate. It's Shin left alone. 1 man against 5 from FUT. A near impossible clutch, and well, he can take the bragging rights back from Martin if he wins this one. The spike down in the open. Next to no information and 30 seconds left. It looks like this one is already in the bag with an 11-8 scoreline. We could even ask the question of how much damage can he do, but the answer to that...
Retake hit. The Viper's Pit will be utilized. Now those stingers are going to be even more fearsome up close, but Cracks isn't shying away from a fight. It's an awkward one, but he still manages to win it. Out of captain's found Tamazi as well, and somehow, from what looked like it could be dangerous, FUT are going to over-rotate just yet. Still wary that this is a ruse, and CNED was trying to just hit the shot. Will be detained, but they're not going to mind too much, especially without a captain doing that. And they thought they had a way into the site. The man just disrespected him. He was CNED's defender. CNED would have died if he went down as well. A ludicrous display from Ada Captain. And maybe the end of the map.
It doesn't even stop them from going backside because you have someone like Shin who's shrouded stepping past the snakebite. He can get there early. So for him to just run out like that is ludicrous. But it works. Of course it does. This is FUT we're talking about. 5 versus 3, 5 HP on Martin. He's out, and it looks like just Tamazi, the last man standing and the last to fall in this game. At least on this map, Breeze is up next if FUT secure a 13-8. And my, what a map that will be. 20 seconds left and an op staring down at him. It's a round and map win for FUT. 13-8. They trade each other's picks and we go all the way to the decider.
Yeah, it's definitely been a...
with the walls, but no bullets landed just yet. This is a frankly disgusting position from Yedeje. And he's cut them by surprise, but Martin somehow wins that fight. Ever vigilant with a reflank up through tube. Advantage sits towards the defenders, and KC have been pretty good at getting back into sites. Limited utility as they make their way back through. It's a pistol round after all, and maybe FUT can just run down that clock. As KC tap the spike, someone needs to swing to check it's not being stuck, and it comes at the cost of their life each time, halfway already, and now they all look to duel on the side of KC, knowing that Ada Captain's the last alive. The snake bite will soon fade as Ada Captain's...
Oh, it seems like he might have got positioning. Gonna try and almost confuse him a little bit. Nice shot from Yedeje. Maybe this round still has a little bit of life in it. Retrieving the gun seems like an improbable possibility, but now they've killed off. Where was that? Was all the way in mid. That was a wall bang to kill off another. I don't know how they managed to make these ones competitive every single time. It almost seems like it might be worse. An eco for FUT and just play into the second round. A very passive position, and almost crossfire, but the timing hasn't gone great, but it does work out for Yedeje. An extra couple of tags, every little will help. He is damaging every single player, but it still comes down to just Cracks. Has to try and hold on to this. A couple low, but they are clearing him out of position. Just 48 HP, and the healthy Shin will be there. Thankfully, post-spawn. Cracks, however, has been hit. You mentioned that Outlaw. He's on 10 HP.
Oh yeah, I mean, anything's going to take him down now. We need to see the fights come through, though. CNET onto Tamazi. It's a clean trade, but KC are closing the distance. That's all they want. That's an ambitious peak. The idea being that Magnum could trade. He got one, but no follow-up on it. And the shots landing make it ever more difficult for KC to find any value with Shin on one.
Destroyed. And now the pressure is in on that B side once again.
Still a trap on site for Tamazi, but how's he getting out of this one? Hunted down by Mr. Fallen. But the kills have come in across the board. Yedajay and CNET have been lost. Big players for the side of FUT. Now another hero has to step up, and they better step up quickly. The spike's being dropped in the open, and now it's fully secured by KC. 4 versus 1. Mr. Fallen would be one hell of a clutch with the Outlaw. Be one for the books. He won't land even the first.
Hunter's Fury actually used here. Now bear in mind, this is a low buy round for the side of FUT. And a tasty shot from Martin. Definitely seems to have got his confidence back. The flash is going to be dodged by Tamazi. I've been enjoying seeing his Cypher play since he's brought it in. At least at kickoff, he was mostly sticking. It's going to be at the replay, but for now, at least, he's looking for rotations, desperately hunting for some sort of fight to give Anna Captain. He's even going to be pinged up. They now know where he is, but it doesn't matter. Anna Captain now finds another somehow again. In these lower rounds, it becomes competitive, but putting CNET in the dirt, that is all they really need. Narrate will deny. And all the danger quickly disappears.
This time, it's Anna Captain that might have the chance to, oh no, never mind, the dash in from CNET. He's going in with an op in hand on the close range angles. The Blade Storm from Martin's grabbing something, but Nare down to the op as CNET doubles up and gets a little ambitious.
One enemy
Anna
remaining.
Captain in the corner. CNET will close it as well. And a close position as well from Magnum.
30 seconds left.
It just has to be a fight here.
Even if you get the first, there's backup, not just in Martin. Even if you get him, there's backup, because Shin's here too. Spam gets Magnum, drone eventually goes out. 2 players coming to reinforce this push, but no Viper Wall. They've got to take the fights in the open. 14 seconds left. Time really starting to run down, and not much of a reveal here. Martin, 8 seconds. He just needs to deny this, and he'll go for it. A kill quickly found. A shot from CNET might keep them back for a moment. Put some hesitation into play for these defenders until he's dropped. Great shot by Tamazi on the flank. Narrated already cleaned on it. Instead is some fake control as they spread out and look for individual fights. Looks like Anna Captain found his.
Oh, you see the frustration in the cam as well from Martin. You just got to be fuming. It just gets insta-popped. Anna Captain has gone down early in a lot of these rounds. Instead now, again, the pressure comes on to the young man from Portugal, trying to hold the backside, and it's close, but no cigar. In fact, they're all dropping like flies. Narrate tries to get back in and help, but he's a little bit late. CNET may go down to a shot, don't know. It's instead going to bounce onto Krax, who's taking a lot of damage. And actually, with Magnum finding another, if this kill goes the other way, this is starting to fall apart.
37 and 11 HP, Tom. 2 players extremely low, and both are the ones on site, isolated by this Viper Wall. Magnum, he snuck around up close, but the shot is found too quickly, and the flank from Yedajay locks in the win. There's nowhere to go.
No, he even gets pinged by the dart as well, so they knew exactly where he was. No surviving that one.
Welcome to my world.
They're even going to throw in the Viper's Pit up close. I don't even know if he'll be needed. CNET just kills everybody. Martin trying to fight back, but he will find only the 2. Martin's like, right, this time they're not mid, I'm telling you. And well, I'm sure Narrate probably agrees. Hunter's Fury is going to help out massively. They're trying to use these ults to pad the gap, but CNET has now popped one of his own. He realized what's going on a little bit earlier than anyone else.
Oh, that flash is perfect, Martin! He had no chance with the pop from Krax. Krax's utility is just out of this world. You see why we talk about this guy on a KO. He might have lost his life here, but the trades make it worthwhile. Leaving only Tamazi, and they take him 1 by 1! Wrong setup on B.
Somehow he always does, though. He's like a magnet.
It's gonna land on his head.
Martin also, I was about to say, has not been having much success with the op. He's been better with the rifle. Every time he's had the operator, it seems like he's been slaughtered. And well, this time, again, something he probably didn't expect was Mr. Fallen coming in with an op solo peeking him and managing to win the fight. It's left Magnum isolated, taking a lot of spam. He was hoping he could maybe find the plant. Instead, he's found everything else. Welcome to Tamazi's world, Magnum. Every single piece of utility. But they still haven't managed to get that plant in. Shock darts still available. Magnum, I don't know where he's going to get to use them. And instead, APAC now splitting in from the backline is going to make things just that little bit worse. Even still, though, KC are clinging to life. The fight back not going to happen as Yedajay comes through. And now Shin left in a clutch.
At least we'll catch all his kills this time. 1 versus 2.
You get off that third-person cam now.
Mr. Fallen and CNED sitting around with the information to work with. He's still around here. As the recon gets destroyed, the wall cutting it up only beckons them forward. Double peek through it for 6 to 6. You choreographed it. They are slipping right behind them. Will they see them? No. There's an orb up. It's dropped, and there you go. Oh, out of the open for CNED. Easy pickings with 3 quick kills. This round seems to be done and dusted.
I swear to God, no one else's ghost works like that. Like, normally you'd see someone spam 15 bullets to the back of their head. CNED, though, it just doesn't miss at all!
And he'd be like, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
We had that coming.
No, he wouldn't.
No,
He definitely wouldn't. But I like the idea of it. Unfortunately, it's not got off to a great start. Nice flash. That's something. I would have been impressed if Narrate managed to get the second one. Now, I guess the only saving grace about this round so far is, well, firstly they got 2 kills, but also CNED hasn't had, CNED hasn't had any other kills, which would put him very close to a Bladestorm, especially if he gets this kill and then diffuses. Yeah, like that.
That will get him very close to the Bladestorm.
That would actually get him his Bladestorm.
Just straight on A, that's going to keep 3 players here. That single piece of utility, Cloudburst used, Dash heard, and 2 players spotted with the knife. Huge information, but capitalizing on it is something else entirely. Evidently, FUT have been shut down. This was a bonus round with some serious bite to it.
Yeah.
But, well, they've come out of that one empty-handed.
Yedajay just slowly encroaching. Doesn't have any utility to close the gap, and well, you can see that Narrate, the reason he's fighting is because he wants to get...
The B site was very successful for FUT on their attack. They had a lot of ideas for how to get through there. You never really saw the impact you needed to coming out of Yedajay, but the traps are still online. Yedajay's on the other side of the map, so as they walk through, they still haven't realized, still haven't walked right into them. And when they do, that's the chance for APAC to show up. That's Shin down on the back of some information. All thanks to Yedajay.
Spike planted.
Yeah, he's managed to give them that man advantage. Almost extends it a little bit further. Spams. Looking to come through the wall, Narrate trying to play a cheeky angle, and it has worked out. Even still, though, APAC there again for the trade. The flash solid, but Magnum not quite able to capitalize, and APAC, we've seen an explosive gamble here. It's because of this Bladestorm.
It does give him a lot of potential. Martin, oh no! He spammed down, and Mr. Fallen catches Narrate off rip. This round just got a whole lot more difficult, and nice shot by Tamazi. That could go in a highlight reel. Problem is, they're not winning this round.
Honestly, it's sublime. Nice. They're going to take away the rest of his utility. The flash will help him out a little bit. APAC definitely under pressure, but CNED is just watching from behind. They're finally going to get towards him, finally going to clear him out, but there's so many more players here that they have to deal with. 20 seconds left. Shin will put another on the death toll, but Mr. Fallen was just hiding at the back of the site. He was waiting for his moment. And because of that, you've got like literally a pistol on one of the players. Now straight away, they are going to be able to take the util off this time. CNED hasn't been needing to use much of it. And the Hunter's Fury definitely helping out, giving Yedajay the extra space to just dominate again and again. He just takes over these rounds. The individuals on FUT are thriving. And well, they might just be one of the most fearsome teams within EMEA right now. They are back with a vengeance.